Alrighty guys, pretty sad news today from Sony. To me this is a big hit. It says Sony is reportedly pausing PlayStation VR2's production to clear excess inventory. So what's that mean? That means the PlayStation VR2, it's not selling. So I'll leave a link to the full article in the description below, but it says sales of the $550 headset are reportedly slowing due to lack of games, allowing inventory to pile up. And that makes sense. There's no games to play for it. There's not many games to play for the PlayStation 5 if you look at the PlayStation 4 versus the PlayStation 5 at the same time period. So it says right here, after producing in excess of 2 million units of the latest virtual reality headset, Bloomberg is reporting that Sony is hitting pause on production to try and shift its unsold inventory of the PlayStation VR2. So it's $549, of course. That was a big problem with the game. In order to sell something like that, the problem with the VR2, the biggest problem, of course, it's not just the games. I would even say if the games were there, it's hard to justify buying something $550 when your PlayStation 5 system is $500. So when you raise the price of something like that, it's just hard to justify it. And of course, we know Sony's had these layoffs. They've cut back on games. They're not making as much money as before. So what's going to happen? We got to quit making these VR2s because nobody's buying them. Well, they may never make another PlayStation VR2. They may just quit doing it. It may be done. Think about that. There's no games. Why would I buy it? Now, I know they're going to try to put it on the PC and make it compatible for the PC. Maybe that can help. But that may be just a way to try to clear the inventory. I was thinking maybe they're just trying to get rid of the inventory. And if it does, catch on somewhat, they can make some more. But if it doesn't, it doesn't. So it sold 2 million units. And that was pretty much it. I never was a big fan of the VR. Never was a big fan of it. To me, it's just too cumbersome. But basically, there's no games for it. If they could make every game compatible with it, like God of War, I don't know if they've done that or not, but to me, the gimmick it's not caught on. Something is missing with this VR. I think it's just when you have to hold two things in your hand, you have this big headset on, and it's not all that comfortable. It's just one of those niche items. So the PlayStation Portal, now that's totally different. It's reasonably priced at $200, and even though the item is not that good itself, to me it's pretty good. It works decent for me, but it's reasonably priced at $200. If this could have came in at $299, which I don't think it could have, but if it could have, maybe that would have helped it. But again, this is all due to Sony layoffs, cutting back because they're making less money on games now. With the cost of games, they've spent so much money on games, and they're like, we have to cut back. And what are we going to cut back on? This right here, it's not selling. We've sold 2 million units. We've got, 60 million PlayStation 5s or 50-some million in circulation. We've only sold 2 million of these things. Let's just pause production. It might have been paused a long time before this even came out. They may just made it official. But it is what it is. The PlayStation VR2, when you have no reason to buy it, why would you buy it? This may be a good thing to buy down the road when it's out of stock or whatever, when nobody wants it. It may hit a phase where people's like, well, let's just get rid of this thing and you get it cheap. You may get a phase like that where it gets cheap and nobody just wants it. It's one of those things where there's not enough to play for it, not enough games, so I don't want it. So, of course, Sony's closed that London office, and when you're closing studios, you're not having no games coming out. And it just comes down to that. Either this is right here is going to save them some money, I guess is the best way to look at it. So that's it, people. The penny pinching is starting with Sony. It's already started. It's getting more and more increased. This could be the PlayStation Portal's fate in 6 months or so if it stops selling. I mean, think about it. There's no reason to make it if you just pile it up. If you keep making stuff and just piling it up in a warehouse, what's the point? So there it is, people. Who knows if there's any more games even going to come out for the PlayStation VR? If they do, it's going to have to be games made by Sony. It's going to have to be something that's people want to play, something that's amazing. And that's pretty much it, guys. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time. Toodles!